So you're just getting started in vinyl collecting and you want to pick up some dope R&B albums. You know, albums that really amplify the quality and the warmth that vinyl record players offer. Well, in today's video, I'll be giving you the top 5 R&B vinyl albums that every beginner needs in their collection. Let's tune in and vibe out. Yeah, but have you heard it on vinyl? Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Rodney B with Good Music. We help people like yourself maximize their value in vinyl collecting while introducing you to the finest hip-hop, R&B, soul, and jazz vinyls out there. Today, we'll be discussing the top 5 R&B albums that any beginner collector needs in their collection. As you can see, I got so much more room in this space. I'm really excited. I kind of got that chessboard out the way. I don't have to worry about bumping my elbow against it no more and knocking things over. I got so much room to play. But let's get started. And like all my content, ladies and gentlemen, if you find value in it, please make sure that you like, share, and you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date on all the great stuff that we're doing over here at Good Music. Let's dig right in. So these vinyl, I've been corrected on that so many times, but please, please, please blame my head and not my heart. I know that vinyl is the plural and singular form of the word. So whether I'm talking about one or talking about multiple, the word is vinyl, not vinyls. Or you can say records. So thank you guys for correcting me. Please continue to do that so I can become better. And these aren't in any particular order, right? Because I can't, especially when it comes to the top album that every collector needs. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. So starting off at number 5 is Leon Thomas's Mutt album. Now this album is just smooth. It's a mix of jazz, R&B, alternative R&B, and it still gives that futuristic flavor, right? Like it's almost like it pushes us and lets us know the direction that R&B is going. He has some great tracks on here. One of my favorites on this album is the joint that he collabed with Wale, because it just makes sense. Wale is right now one of the best rappers that do combos with R&B. We can argue about that later, but Wale is a great R&B rapper. The song is called Feelings on Silent, and it's just a great melody. This album is a classic, and if they don't, or if you don't know, or if you haven't heard it, this is album of the year by far. R&B album of the year, Mutt by Leon Thomas, which I recently learned because I kind of out the loop. I don't watch a lot of TV, that he was a Disney actor. But I digress. Mutt, great album, number 5. Now, for the next album, this sister had us falling in love with her music from the gate. She came in during the whole neo-soul wave where it was a heavy influence coming from Philadelphia when we had Jill Scott and Music Soul Child, and that whole wave was coming through. But this sister is from New York, and my favorite album that she has brought forward to us is A Diary of Alicia Keys. Now, this album you can play from back to front, front to back. It has a bunch of radio hits and just a bunch of hits in general. I don't emphasize a lot about radio hits because I think there's other great music out there. But this album is just dope. I mean, let's just go through some of the classics. Karma, fire. If I Was Your Woman, fire. You Don't Know My Name. You Don't Know My Name is such a great song because it was a breath of fresh air for guys during the time. Because the song is about, or the video was about, and you may remember it, where she worked at a diner. Mos Def was coming in consistently and coming in all the time, and she fell in love with him, and she mustered up the courage to ask him out on a date, which doesn't happen, or it happens very rarely. So thank you for that, Alicia Keys. It was like a breath of fresh air for us, man. And Diary, which is basically the theme of this album. And what she did during the bridge with Tony was amazing. It was almost like we were listening to a vocal competition between Alicia Keys and Tony. And I would love to sing it for you, but I'm going to save your eardrums. So listen to the bridge on Diary with Tony. It's just a beautiful melody. It seems like they're competing, but it doesn't give that aggressiveness. It's like an elegant competition. Like they're just sharpening iron sharpening iron. Vocal cords sharpening vocal cords. That may not sound as poetic, but definitely give it a listen. At number 4, we have Alicia Keys, Diary of Alicia Keys. Now, I'm not big on greatest hit albums. I think that they do not really capture the total essence of a artist's catalog, because what they tend to do in these greatest hit albums is they just compile a bunch of radio hits, right? I think you miss out on a lot of great songs because they're not radio friendly songs, or the industry doesn't think that they're radio hit songs, or they're not good songs. So they don't push them. They don't put the marketing dollars behind them. So when they come up with these lists, or they come up with these greatest hits, it doesn't include those other secret songs on the album that are also classics, and sometimes even better. But I have to admit, they did a great job with this album. Now, we have Sade's greatest hits. I love Sade. Her soothing voice, her jazzy R&B tone to when she sings. Every song that she makes is relatable. We've experienced it. She was singing back in the 80s, and it was futuristic, and we still listen to her today. I still listen to her today. And I would compare her album or albums or any albums with any present day R&B artist, and she would rock the house. Now, this is directly to Sade. You've been teasing us for a long time, saying you're going to drop an album. You didn't. You're going to go on tour. You didn't. Us real fans need you back. Please, Sade. Please. This album is great. I mean, it has both radio hits and some of the album secrets that don't get as much attention. I mean, we got Cherish the Day. Cherish the Day. Yeah, sorry about that. We have Smooth Operator. And one of my favorite tracks that she has on here is Jezebel. And it gives you a blend of all of her great music, radio hits and not, so that you can get started with this album and then decide if you want to go pick up her other more specific albums. You get started with this greatest hits album and then say, hey, let me go pick up some of her other stuff because I love her music that much, which I did. So coming at a smooth number 3, we have Sade's greatest hits. We're getting into the top 2. But please let me know what other R&B vinyl do collectors need. Did I miss something? What do you guys think about the ones that I've added? And like all my content, again, I have to continue to do this even though I know it seems annoying. If you're finding value, please make sure you like, share, and you subscribe. You also hit the notification bell so that you can stay tuned to what's happening in good music. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it helps the brand. It helps me, to be honest with you. And it helps us build this community of vinyl lovers, music collectors, and it helps build awareness. Because, yes, we're starting with vinyls, and I'm starting the cafe and the poetry lounge and the jazz, and I'm starting a bunch of stuff. But what I really want to do is build a space that we combine music, meditation, and healing so that we have a space for the community. And this just brings awareness and helps me build that because it's not free and it's not cheap. So back to it. Now we're going to talk about the top two. And these don't go in any specific order. Even though I'm saying 5, 4, 3, don't worry about that. These are all great albums. The top two, though, are just something different. And I really couldn't decide which one I wanted to go first, which one I wanted to go second. So I'm just going for it, right? I'm not going to say number two. But another must-have for any vinyl collector that really values quality, perfection, is Thriller by Michael Jackson. Now, this album is literally, you could play it from back to front, no skips. Every song is a radio hit. Every song is a classic. This album had, at the time of recording this, has gone 34 times platinum. This is the most sold album in history. I'm going to let that marinate for a second. The most sold album in history, 34 times platinum. Michael Jackson, the great, the late Michael Jackson. Every song is a hit. What he went through to release this album, bigs up to Quincy Jones, the late and the great Quincy Jones, on helping to produce this album. But what he went through and the obstacles and the doors he opened in this album and through his career, really, but more specifically in this album, what he did to music videos when he created the movie Thriller, all the barriers he had to go through. And they're going to say, oh, that's a pop album. Yeah, I would put this in the pop category too. But, you're going to tell me that Lady of My Life is an R&B. And honestly, Lady of My Life is one of my favorite songs of all time. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Oh, this is his greatest song. It's his favorite song. It's one of his favorite songs of all time. Yeah, I have 100 favorite songs of all time because I just love music. But Lady of My Life, the loop in the beginning, psst, what instrument was that? Anyway, great album. Back to front. Thriller. Beat It. Billie Jean, Human Nature, which has been sampled umpteen times. Nas, Chris Brown, SWV, or SVW. How many times has that song just been sampled alone? Michael Jackson, Thriller. A absolute must-have for any vinyl collector. Now we're getting into the top. We're getting into the number one spot. And this one might surprise some folks. But we're going to do it. We're going with Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. Another classic album. Stevie Wonder, one of the greatest of all times to ever put his hand on a keyboard, put his hand on a piano, to ever grab a mic, to ever produce music. At the time of this recording, we are fortunate enough to have this man still in our lives. Is he blind? How much is he blind? Is he totally blind? I don't know. And it's none of my business. What I do know is that he has classic after classic, and this is one of my favorite, probably my favorite Stevie Wonder album of all time. And I can just go through some of the songs. He has As on here. He has Knock Me Off My Feet, which was redone by Carl Thomas. We have I Wish. We have Sir Duke. But my absolute favorite, and again, this is one of my favorite songs of all time, is Love is in Need of Love Today. And then in this moment where the wildfires have damaged so many homes and have impacted so many lives, the song Love is in Need of Love just gives us an opportunity to slow down, reflect, and understand that we as humans have a duty to one another to help. So please pray for California, LA wildfires. And my prayers and my concerns go out to those families. Love is in Need of Love is a song where it seems like love is tired. And it's done all it can and just needs that extra boost and needs that help. And how timely of a song is this? Where the world is literally in chaos, where we're dealing with wildfires, police brutality, pain, depression is at an all-time high, opioid addiction, abuse, failing schools, political corruption. I mean, the list goes on. Love is in need of love. It's such a timely song. I know I brought a little bit of somberness to this video, but I appreciate you guys being with me today. Please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, people, to love one another, be kind, because you never know who needs it. Till next time, vinyl lovers, remember to tune in and vibe out. Peace.
Slow jams all up in the room, whispering sweet nothing.